Hadith 39. La ilaha illallah removes all sins. An Hani. Qalat qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam la ilaha illallahu la yasbiquha amalun wa la tatruku dhanba. Hani radiyallahu anha reports that the Messenger of God, divine contact upon him and wholeness, has said, "No deed can excel, there is no God except God, and this statement does not let any sin remain unwashed." Ibn Majah was the narrator of this. Note, no deed can be better than this kalima. It's quite clear, because without belief in this kalima, no action carries any reward. Well, I don't think it goes that far, but comparatively. It is the condition for acceptance of salah, the ritual prayer, fasting, hajj, the obliged charity, the obliged pilgrimage, and zakah, the obliged charity. Because unless there is iman, faith, no action is acceptable. Recitation of al-kalama, al-tayyibah, which amounts to expression of faith, is not dependent on anything else. If a person has only iman and no other virtue in his account, sooner or later he is bound, through the grace of Allah, to get admission into Jannah. On the other hand, if a person does not possess iman, then no amount of good deeds will be sufficient for salvation. The second part of the above-mentioned hadith is that the kalima does not let any sin remain unwashed. It is unanimously agreed that if a person embraces Islam in his old age, and immediately after recitation of the kalima he happens to meet his death, then all his sins which he had committed as a disbeliever before his declaration of iman are forgiven. If, however, recitation of the kalima in an earlier stage is meant, then the hadith means that the kalima purifies and polishes the heart, and its excessive recitation will cleanse the heart to such an extent that he must do tawbah, which will result in the forgiveness of his sins. According to one hadith, if a person is particular to recite La ilaha illallah before going to sleep and after getting up, even his worldly affairs will lead to the betterment of his life in the akhirah, and he will be guarded against misfortune and trouble. And so, if we have remembrance during an act, it becomes a spiritual act. If we dedicate before or after, if we do it according to the religious principles, and we know we're doing it according to the religious principles, and that's what's meant by, without the belief, what good is having a glass of water spiritually if all you do is drink the water? Now, if you thank God for the things in your life, then it's a spiritual act.